This is Dana Dunn. I'm here today with Dan Mayo, who's the president of the board, and Denise Stryker, who's executive director of the Clinton County Homeless Shelter. And we're here today to talk primarily about an anniversary celebration they have coming up at the end of June. And so I want to start off by asking them the details of who, what, when, where, and why of that, and then move on to maybe, if we have time, to talk a little bit about the history of the center and reasons to celebrate. So I'll start with Denise to tell us about the celebration.
Yes, we are so excited to share that we will be having a 30-year anniversary celebration Saturday, June 30th, and it will be from 10 a.m. until noon. And we've had a committee working on the plans and organization of the celebration since last year, back in October. And it consists of board members and staff that's just working to make this a really special event. It's still very exciting to know that we have been able to celebrate 30 years of operations, and we opened as the very first emergency shelter in a rural area in Ohio back in 1988. And to know that here we are 30 years later it's really exciting. We're having a lot of fun planning for the day, and we're hoping to get the word out to let as many people know as possible to get a good turnout.
Okay. Hopefully we'll have something to do with that. Have you had other anniversaries? I mean, 25, 20, or is this something new?
We did celebrate our 25th anniversary at a Cardboard City event 5 years ago.
Okay.
And, we've never had one on site. We've never had an anniversary celebration on site. And so this is the first time for that. And we've had a lot of dedicated volunteers, board members, and staff who are really working hard to make it a special day.
Okay. What kinds of events and activities do you have planned for that day?
We are going to have a tent set up behind the 30 Gallup Street Men's Annex House. We'll have a tent set up there. We will have a DJ that will be playing 80s music, which is when we had opened back in the 80s, so we're excited about that. Sure. And we'll have a ribbon cutting, an open ribbon cutting for the celebration, and a program right around 11 o'clock for just to kind of give a history of the shelter, and have the chamber will be here to celebrate our 30 years with the ribbon cutting. And we'll have refreshments we'll be serving from the Darlene Myers house at 390 Main Street. And we will be offering tours of all 4 houses that day as well.
Now, I don't want to put Dan on the spot, but in terms of board members, I mean, how many board members do you have?
Yeah, we have 9 board members, and one of the things that makes this organization, I think, so great is, of course, firstly, with Denise and the staff, we have an incredible
And Denise has been here the whole time, too, right?
Not quite the whole time. Yeah, like 25 years.
Okay.
Yes. And then we have a board, and we meet monthly, and we have a lot of talent because we looked in the formation of the board each year, the various segments of the community to make sure that, we have banking and business and community relations and the Ministers Association, all represented on this board. So we have a lot of talent that helps assist Denise and the staff.
And you seem to get a lot of support from the community with the events like the Cardboard City and just general support.
Yeah, the Cardboard City is kind of our signature event. But yeah, this is, in a lot of ways, this is a thank you to the community. Because, without that support, and I've seen certainly other organizations that just don't have that level of support from the community, and it's a real struggle. But with that level of support that we have and the connections, and I think Denise has such a strong ability to communicate and gain that support along with the board members, that we have a very successful organization that are able to serve clients. And I think that's really what we're all about, is our clients. And when we can see people right the ship and get their house in order, literally, it's an exciting thing to be a part of.
Sure.
And what's so exciting, we've already had folks that either are living at the shelter currently or have in the past that have offered to help prepare for the day just by doing, maybe planting flowers to make things look nice. And that's truly what's been a big key in keeping the shelter going, is all the folks that have came back to help and often even became employed after being here, and have helped us more in so many ways than we could ever imagine helping them.
I mean, do you have any idea how many people you've had come through your doors over those 30 years, or even close estimates or whatever?
I would average around 200 a year from the time I started in 1994, a very close approximate estimate of 200 from that period on. And so,
so like 200 different people each year, you think? So
there might be some duplicates there, because we do have some folks that need to return briefly, but they're, it just varies, and that consists of single unaccompanied men, single unaccompanied females, and then we also have two-parent families who actually stay in the Materka family house. We have 2 rooms that are designated for our two-parent families with children and our adult couples without children. So we've been uniquely able to serve all populations.
So you've had many success stories, obviously. I mean, do you hear back from the people maybe years later that are still grateful for what you were able to do for them?
We do. I actually just had someone reach out to me on Facebook a few weeks ago, and we had, we spent a lot of time with her family back in the late 90s, and I actually got to experience the birth of her second to youngest child. And she had reached out to let me know her daughter was having a birthday. And, that just wanted to thank us for all we had done. And she continues to support us by coming to fundraisers and bringing the children. And we have an advisory committee that consists of current and past residents who meet to discuss ways that we can make improvements, ways that things are working, raise money by doing yard sales, which we will be having this Saturday, to benefit the people that live here by buying work clothes and gas to be able to get to work and things like that.
Do you get enough donations? I mean, are there? Is that something that's an issue or not? I mean, do you seem to? I myself drop stuff off, and you always seem like you have a bar full. I mean, is that something that's a challenge at times, or?
We always need donations, and we have folks who are moving out, often. So things like couches and pots and pans and towels and linens, things you need for your home, are always things that are much needed for families as they move. And often people do not realize that we also help anyone in the community. The priority is folks that are living here at the shelter, but we often have people in the community that, after paying rent and, living expenses, they still need a little assistance. So the food pantry and the clothing and household items that are donated, we share with anybody in the community in need of help.
Okay.
So we are always in need of items like that, clothing, food items. Our food pantry is virtually opened all day because we do have staff here around the clock. So
from a volunteer perspective, do you need more? What do you need help in that area, or?
Just in regard to the 30th anniversary celebration, I did want to mention that a big part of this is the fact that in the last couple of years we've added to our property, of course, about 5 years ago with the Darling Myers house.
Yes.
And now with the donation center, that is a significant addition to our property. And then also being able to have the parking lot paved and to have the entrance and the egress and be able to make it much easier for people to come and donate items and not get kind of log jammed back here and additional parking. So that's a big emphasis on the June 30th event is the ribbon cutting for what we've done in the last few years.
Well, we've almost run out of time, I think, but maybe like one last, give us again the update about when the anniversary will be, date and time of that.
Sure. It is Saturday, June the 30th, beginning at 10 a.m. And the program will begin, and the ribbon cutting will begin at 11 o'clock a.m. And the location will be immediately behind the 30 Gallup Street location. We do have handicapped parking available in our new parking lot here behind 390 Main Street. And then additional parking will be available at the VA Center. Folks who will be joining us on Saturday, June 30th, can park at the VA Doctor's Center there right down the street.
Sure. Okay.
And so we're hoping to see a lot of people, and we're going to have cake and nuts and some pretzels and tea and coffee and some good beverages. And so we hope, and we're also having door prizes that day. So I'd let Dan share a little bit about the door prizes. We have a lot of folks who are donating in honor of the 30-year, some $30 door prizes.
Yes, we have businesses and individuals that will be donating items, and we kind of looked at that $30 value in terms of the theme of the 30 years on the 30th. So that should be exciting for people to walk away with something, but mainly we just want to showcase we're proud of what goes on here, the work that we do here, and we know there are people that have perhaps have maybe even donated or sent contributions, but maybe have never been on the property. So we want to showcase the property and the work that's done, and we're looking forward to the day.
Well, thank you for your time, and thank you for what you do in the community. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you,
so
Dan.
much.
You're welcome. Hit the button here. See what